The new ROG Ally is coming, Apple's new iPads are THINPOSSIBLE, and the TecnoCAMON 30 series lands in the Philippines. All that and more in this episode of the Weekly Recap. If you're planning on buying an ROG Ally, you might want to hit that pause button unless your EQ is incredibly low, because ASUS just teased the Ally X, with the X meaning extra, expand, and extend. While you might think that they're going bigger with their handheld, new details have emerged via an article by The Verge where they asked ASUS SVP Sean Yen about the newest version of their handheld device that's set to be officially announced on June 2. The ROG Ally will have the same processor, so the Z1 Extreme, and will have the same 7-inch VRR display. So with a larger screen out, ASUS plans to address one of the biggest pain points with the Ally: battery life. ASUS is bringing a revised shell to the Ally X that will allow them to put a larger battery that will extend gameplay, and Yen says that they're not looking for a 30 to 40% increase, they're looking at way more than that. Aside from battery life, ASUS also teases that the Ally X will have more than 16GB of RAM and will shift their storage from an M.2 2230 to a 2280, which means you can easily expand your storage if you wanted to, since the 2280s are easier to find, plus they're cheaper too. The joystick modules are redesigned to be interchangeable on the Ally X, which means if you develop drift of any kind, it should be easier to replace as well. And if you aren't a fan of that white colorway of the ROG Ally, the Ally X will come in black. No word on pricing for this device just yet, but expect it to be pricier. How much exactly, we don't know. I guess we're all gonna have to wait for that June 2 announcement. Let's shift gears to the Apple side of things, because they also released the new iPads last week, which was a good reminder that I don't have as much disposable income as I imagined, because the 11-inch iPad Pro costs 72,000 pesos. Damn! To be fair though, they also used the iPad launch to introduce their M4 chip that's going to be available on the iPad Pro, making this the most powerful tablet around. How much more powerful? It's really hard to say, since I'm only basing this off of Apple's presentation and what my favorite tech YouTubers have to say. There's gonna be a performance boost for sure, but seeing as my workflow revolves more around using a laptop and not a tablet, I'm not quite sure what all that power is for, which is why I laughed when I saw these comments on the videos of MKBHD and Mr. Who's the Boss. iPad Pro M4, the most powerful Netflix and YouTube machine. What I do admire about these new iPads though is how thin they are, and while I hate their tagline, THINPOSSIBLE, thin. A 5.3mm and a 5.1mm thin tablet does sound incredible. I mean, I am concerned that these could easily bend or break, but I guess we'll have to wait for Zach of Jerry Rig Everything to get his hands on these new iPad Pros. But in all seriousness, I do have friends who prefer using their iPads as their daily driver, and I would get why all these changes would be meaningful for them. It's just that price though. 72,000 pesos for the 11-inch iPad Pro. I just don't get it, but that's just me. On the budget-friendlier side of things, Tecno just launched the TecNO Camon 30 series here in the Philippines. The device that we initially saw at MWC earlier this March has finally landed in the country, and we personally got to try out the Camon 30 Pro 5G, and it's a lot of fun. And if you want to watch that video, there should be a link somewhere on screen for you to check out. As always though, the Camon focuses on camera capabilities, with the Pro having two 50-megapixel cameras on the back, plus a 2-megapixel depth sensor. The main camera also comes with a Sony IMX890 sensor, further boosting its shooting capabilities. There will be more camera samples in the video, but here are a couple for you to check out. The Camon 30 Pro is definitely a lot of fun to shoot with, but we had the most fun with AIGC portraits. Now, it's not perfect and basically forces your face into 8 preset portraits, which is a laugh, but I'm guessing that will get pretty old pretty fast. Hopefully, Tecno adds a bit more presets to keep things fresh. Aside from the cameras, I also like the fact that the TecNO Camon 30 Pro has anti-theft capabilities baked in. It will take photos of people who try to unlock your phone twice in a row, so if you have a girlfriend or boyfriend who wants to snoop in on your messages, you will know that is if they don't know your phone PIN. Again, you can check out the entire video for the TECNO Camon 30 Pro, and if you're interested in the base TECNO Camon 30, our friends Liz and Mon have videos on their channels for you to check out as well. As for their prices, the base model starts at $11,999, the Camon 30 Pro is priced at $19,999, and the Premier has a price tag of 23,999 pesos. Now, there are or were various promos happening on TECNO's official Lazada, Shopee, and TikTok worth checking out because you could get the base Camon 30 for less than 10,000 pesos. Again, I'm not sure if these promos are still going on, so make sure you check out their official pages on, again, Lazada, Shopee, and TikTok. As far as rumors for new phones coming out, we may be expecting a new flagship phone from Realme pretty soon. Launched as the GT Neo 6 in China, Realme could be releasing this device as the GT6 globally. The device is powered by a Qualcomm Snapdragon 8S Gen 3 with up to 16GB of RAM and a terabyte of storage. It has a 5,500 mAh battery and also supports 120-watt charging, so topping it up will be incredibly fast. The starting price for the base model of the GT Neo 6 or GT6, if they do release this globally, is around 17,000 pesos when converted. So hopefully they stick to that pricing because that's really good for those specs. And speaking of great pricing, if you're on the lookout for laptop deals, Huawei just announced their promos for the Huawei MateBook D series. This is sounding like a plug, but it's not sponsored, guys. It's not. It's just really good deals. You can get the D15, which has a Ryzen 7 processor, 8GB of RAM, and 512GB of storage for 32,000 pesos. That will come with a free mouse and backpack. Not bad at all if you need a laptop for work. That's a very good price for it. The entire listing will be available in the description box, but the most expensive one on the list comes to 42,999. That's the MateBook D14 that's equipped with a 13th gen i5 processor, 16GB of RAM, and 512GB of storage. You'll also get a free backpack and mouse, plus Microsoft Office 365 with that bundle. Again, all the details for Huawei's summer promo for their MateBook D series will be down below, and that's pretty much it for this weekly recap. Let me know what you guys think of the new iPad and the upcoming ROG Ally X on June 2. I'm curious to know what you guys think, but again, that's pretty much it. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, sub to the channel if you haven't already. My name is Tito James. Peace, God bless, and I'll see you guys in the next video.